No. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, guys. We'll get started in a little bit here. Just got a couple minutes for other people to tune in. Thanks for joining, though. Got about another minute here, guys. Feel free to do any stretches or anything that might feel good before we get started, maybe some light breathing. Alrighty, we'll get going here. Just so you guys know, tomorrow, and for you on Zoom right now, I do have this posted on YouTube. It's a live link. They're both live videos. I'm moving forward. I'm going to be going to a YouTube format only eventually, just so you're aware. But yeah, tomorrow I will not be doing a live lecture. I have something come up, so I'm going to be traveling actually, and the video will be posted in the morning just on YouTube. So that it won't be a live video, but it'll be the same format otherwise. You can just follow the link. It'll be on the same channel as where you would see the live videos, but it'll just be titled with the date. Just the Let's Move Together. But yeah, when we get started here, if there's any pain with any of these movements, make sure that we ease away from pain. No need to go into pain. Try to find a regression that works for you, or maybe you just gotta find a different movement altogether. Overall, this is pretty flexible and adaptable to most people. I like to show some progressions to make it more challenging if you'd like, and also some more simple movements. So use this based on your goals, what you're going for this morning, and also just listening to your body. Using this as a time to tune in, kind of loosen up, get some good blood flowing, and also wake your nervous system up to different areas of your body. A big part of healthy movement is having a good connection. We call it like a mind-body connection. That's one thing, but we can also think about it as just a healthy nervous system, the way our brain and nervous tissue coordinates movement and connects with the rest of our body. We'll get started here. I'm gonna start standing for this. Just nice and easy. Let's check in with our standing posture. So as we stand, I want to make sure we're not rigid, locked out, but rather soft and easy here. Just going to start taking some nice, easy breaths in and reaching up high. So trying to kind of breathe in, stretch the arms up, decompress the spine a little bit. Exhale, kind of soften down here. A couple more breaths here, breathing up, reaching in. Just so you can see, nothing special with my hand, just kind of coming up. Exhale, let the arms come down a little bit. Keep going here. Big breath in, maybe getting a little bit deeper breath, stretching a little bit up. Exhale, let it come down. We get two more here. Big breath in, hands up, reaching up, up, up. That feels good. Exhaling, letting it down here. Last one, reaching up, maybe giving a little side bend if you'd like. Feel free to sit into this a little bit more if you'd like. Come down. You're gonna touch the ground now, kind of like a squat. You can get down here, sink the hips to the ground. Just gonna rock the knees back and forth a little bit. If this isn't as low as we like for a squat, we can even just get down here. Just maybe a little bit of rocking, maybe working our hips down, pressing the knees out a little bit with our elbows. Just rocking and getting comfortable. Feel free to put your hands on the ground if you'd like. Keeping that breath going, just kind of open up the hips, checking in with where we're at today. Nice, so stand up. You're gonna do 3 more like that with just a couple seconds at the bottom. So come down, kind of feel that squat movement out. See how our hips are feeling today. This bothers our low back. Again, just nice and easy. I'm easing into it. Stand up, do one more here. Kind of coming down, opening the hips up. Feeling ourselves getting a little bit closer to the ground. Kind of can be a funny position. Something really awesome to come to day to day. Here we go. Okay, we'll stand up. I'm gonna go on my knees just so you can see me a little bit better. Feel free to do this standing or on your knees, whatever you prefer. Gonna start, go to some cars now. This is a big joint circle. So we can do cars with every joint. Each class I have, we go through some version of cars. So if you continue to watch, you'll start to catch on with these. We're gonna start with a shoulder car. So a car is the biggest range of motion we can go through that's pain-free. It's kind of like active stretching. So we're gonna start putting your palm forward, pinky is pointing across your body. From here, Just gonna reach your pinky across your body as far as you can. Try not to rotate your body. Throughout the whole car, belly button stays pointed forward, should not be moving. Another important thing is we're not arching our back throughout this, but staying pretty steady through our whole torso and mid-region here. Again, pinky reaches across the body, coming up, bicep starts to scrape the chin, scrapes your cheek as we start to drive the arm back behind you as far as you can. Once you can't get any further, you're gonna open the hand up, almost like you're dumping out a glass of water as we reach back behind. Going through a big shoulder circle, gonna go same direction here, and pinky across the body, under control with this tempo. You notice I'm going pretty slow. Wanna make sure that we don't rush through this. As we rush, we miss our outer ranges of motion. Really try to take your time grooving these outer positions. This is where we're most susceptible to injury, so this is where it's super important to train and touch base with. And coming up, as we get better at cars, you can start to pretend like you're moving through quicksand and dumping out that glass or that jar. Once we start to reach back, then reaching that arm back behind you. You're gonna go one more same direction, and pinky reaches across the body. Maybe that air got a little bit heavier, starting to get some quicksand tension now, some self-imposed resistance. What's cool about these is your body doesn't know the difference between a weight in your hand and just some self-imposed tension. Your tissues are responding to force. So by giving yourself some of that quicksand, shake it out there. Can you go to the other side? Again, pinky across the body here. Coming at your tempo, doing these more for time. You can go a little bit faster, but want to make sure we're not rushing. In the top, sort of dump out that glass of water as that whole arm rotates, really reaching back behind you here. Again, pinky across the body, bicep scrapes your cheek. Sort of reach back. At the top, you're reaching back as far as you can without arching your low back. So arm back at the top, starting to dump out that can, reaching back behind you here. What I was saying there is that there's no difference as far as your muscles are concerned with tension that's from a weight or tension that's from your own resistance, kind of like you're fighting yourself. Your joint and your tissues are going to respond to force. So you can give yourself a little bit extra tension. You can start to get to strength training levels with just body weight movement here. The last rep here, really reaching back behind you, opening up that shoulder. Good. Keep that breath going. That's something I didn't touch on. Want to keep breath rolling throughout with all these movements. I'm going to go to shoulder blade car now. Let's go arms out. If this is a little bit aggressive or your shoulders start to get really tired and you're not looking for that, you can go arms by your sides and do the same thing. Otherwise though, you're going to be here, arms out. As we roll our shoulders, we should be doing this motion. Your hand should be just below your shoulder or relative to the shoulder, staying put the whole time. To start, we're going to shrug our shoulders up. Then we're going to pull the shoulders straight back here. Pulling back, make sure we're not arching our low back, but rather it's pulling the shoulder blades back. From here, shoulder blades are going to lower straight down. Once we find that max range of motion, shoulders come forward. Think about punching with your fists forward. Fists come forward, forward, forward. Good, coming back up here. So now we're kind of in the starting position again. Coming up, back, down again. Avoid that low back arch. Nice and steady through the torso. Driving forward. We're going to go one more there. Shoulders up, back, down, slowly coming forward here. Going to reverse now. So from here, we should be in the forward and down or depressed position. From here, we're going to come straight back now. Try to come straight back to the shoulder blades without shrugging. This is a challenge. You're going to go extra slow here. Shoulder blades come back, avoiding that shrug. Once we're all the way back and down, then we'll shrug. Coming up, forward, fists come forward, really opening up the chest or the back there, and then coming down here with the shoulders. You go one more rep that same direction. Again, pulling back without shrugging here. Not arching the low back, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Now we'll start to shrug, coming up. Fists drive forward, 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 and lower in here. There we go. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe do some shoulder rolls a little less specific. Again, the cars are very specific, really trying to find those outer ranges of motion. Next one's going to be a neck car. Our last car today, gonna think about a chin tuck on this one, almost like someone offended you, or like you're trying to make a double chin. The offended chin is a little bit more easy to handle. I'm not trying to make you have a double chin, but yeah, chin tucked from the side. Think about here, chin tucked, the top of the head might lift a little bit. From here, gonna roll forward, chin comes down to your chest. Imagine now like you had a crayon coming off of your nose, gonna draw as big of a circle as you can. So we start, we're gonna look over one of our shoulders as the chin scrapes across your chest. Look as far as you can. Once you can't rotate or look anymore, gonna dip the top of the head or the eyebrow towards the ground, starting to dip and then arch back. You can go through a full circle. Again, drawing that big circle with your crayon on your nose, looking over your other shoulder here, kind of dipping the head to the ground, scraping your chin across your other collarbone. Scraping to the center, and come back up to the starting position. Gonna go the other direction now again. Chin tucked, rolling the chin down your chest, looking over your other shoulder as the chin scrapes across your collarbone. Once you can't look anymore, dip the top of your head. You're gonna start to arch back. As we arch back now, think about nose and chin lifted straight up to the ceiling. It's not just how far back can we get it. Let's see if you can start to decompress the spine a little bit. Looking over your other shoulder, kind of dipping, scraping chin across the chest, making this symmetrical. You can go one more each way. If you'd like, you can add a little bit of that quicksand. Don't be too intense, but you can start to really get this area a little bit more active, a little more stable through this exercise. So really control now, chin tucked, scraping down the chest. Gonna look over your shoulder now. Making sure as we do this, you're not starting to shrug your shoulders or rotate the rest of your body. Just looking over your shoulder, getting a little bit of that head dip into the ground as you start to then arch back. Again, chin lifts to the ceiling as you're arching back, looking over that other shoulder, dipping the head a little bit, and then scraping the chin across the chest. Back up to the center, last rep here. Chin tucked, rolling down, and looking over your shoulder, then dipping the top of the head or the eyebrow to the ground as you start to then arch back. Chin and nose lifted to the ceiling, looking over your other shoulder, scraping your chin across your collarbone. Back up to the center. Good work, everybody. If you weren't standing, we'll stand up for a second. I'm just gonna shake it out a little bit, maybe twist the spine here a little bit, being a little more less specific. Some nice easy breaths here. Kind of checking in, letting some of that tension go. We're gonna go through 25 jumping jacks now. If jumping jacks are bothersome, maybe just bouncing and raising the arms. Otherwise, here we go. Deep breathing with this, just starting to up our energy a little bit. Maybe make the breath intensify a little bit here through this one. There we go, we got 5 more. Just nice and soft on the feet. There we go, shake it out. Good work. If you need a drink, this is a good time to grab one. Otherwise, going to be on our backs now. You're just kind of sitting on your butt. Turn the camera down. Okay, so we're gonna be seated now, feet wide, a little bit wider than hip width. If you have a lot of mobility, you can go even wider. If we're a little bit stiff, let's bring them a little bit in, maybe as wide as your hips. This is about where I'm at today. We're gonna start on our elbows. So just kind of a nice, easy position right here. We're gonna start by rotating one of our legs. Choose a leg, doesn't matter which side. We're gonna start to rotate in and out. Don't wanna just be moving like this. If we're just going through the motions, it's not really gonna help us. I wanna start to press into this stretch. So as I drive this leg in, I'm thinking about knee pressing to the ground. But notice my hip is not coming off the ground. It's like the glute stays glued to the ground. So only rotating as much as this upper leg can really roll in towards the ground. And then the opposite, as we roll out, knee starts to press to the ground this way. Starting to kind of open up the inside of that leg and maybe feeling some back muscles active. So our tempo should be about a 1 to 2 second hold at the end range. Just kind of pressing into it, trying to open up the hip. If you're not feeling much with this, try to add a little bit of that quicksand, even thinking about pressing that knee to the ground a little bit more. If there's any knee pain, really maybe focusing on the thigh pressing to the ground or really rotating versus just driving that knee to the ground. Do a couple more on this side. This is a good check-in in the morning just to see how your hips are feeling. It's also a good range of motion to go through in itself. Maybe a little specific shaking up if you need to, then come to the other side here. Again, taking your time, not rushing through it. We're trying to start to get muscles active. We're not just trying to stretch like we think of normally stretching. Yes, we're opening up mobility, but mobility is different than flexibility. Mobility entails control and strength through range of motions, where flexibility is more like how far can I contort my body into this position or pull myself into a stretch. Mobility is a lot more about control and is a lot more in relation to movement and to how we actually work in life. Again, trying to drive that leg open, keeping the glute glued down to the ground. To get to the point where you notice one side was maybe a little bit stiffer, you can spend a little bit more time on that side. And it's a good check-in point to see where we're at today. Good work, everybody. Hopefully getting a little bit of blood flow, maybe getting a little bit warmed up this morning. Awesome job. We do one more over here. Again, if you feel like you need to spend more time here, definitely do so. I'm gonna move on. Gonna get to a similar range of motion that we're stretching and mobilizing. But we're going to come to this 90-90 position. Progress as you like. You're going to go through a couple different progressions from this position. You make your way forward as you feel feels right this morning. So from this position, we got 90 degrees in our knee in the front, coming to our body, back hip is at 90 degrees. Here, knees at 90 degrees. Want to work on to stay nice and upright. Don't want to be here. This is not what we're going for. Chest tall, spine long. Going to start to hinge forward a little bit. So as we come forward, again, not rounding the low back, keeping some posture here. We're thinking about most of the motion is happening from our hips, from below our spine. The spine is just staying pretty neutral and upright here. It's nice and easy, kind of leaning forward. It's almost like a pigeon stretch in yoga, except again, we're staying active with this and we're moving here. So chest comes forward, should be feeling a stretch on the front hip, the back of this front leg. Kind of in that glute region, the piriformis region, if you're familiar. This feels good. You can stay here. Another couple stretches from this position are just opening up and rocking back a little bit. So starting to feel the inside of that other leg opening up a little bit, perhaps. Maybe you get your spine a little bit more active with it as well. A lot we can do, again, this is called the 90-90 position. A lot we can do from here. Again, a good check-in in the morning. We're about to get a little bit more active, but first, just kind of checking in, getting some lighter mobility training in here. As you're ready, we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to show you a transition that we're going to get to, and I'm actually going to do kind of like a little flow here. But if you need to, just go to the other side, however you wish. If you want a little challenge, you're going to stay tall here. You can go fists here, arms out, back leg. You're going to try to lift that foot off the ground without leaning or shifting our torso much. Straighten out. Straighten out, other leg coming in. This is going to be our new front leg. Again, staying tall here, slowly bringing that leg back, hovering, slowly setting to the ground here. You can find your hand position here. Just nice, easy stretching here. Again, not holding the stretch. I know that might feel good, but we really want to stay active. And maybe even like pressing the leg into the ground a little bit, or seeing if you want to get some muscles active with this. Easy again to intensify it. You're not rounding the spine, not coming here, or just trying to get our chest to the ground. That's not the goal. The goal is to keep some posture here, hinging through the hips. Thinking about, again, where my hand is at here is not moving at all. It's staying pretty fixed. All the motion is happening below this hand here, below the low back. Should feel a good opening up on the back of this, or the back of this front hip. And this is what we need. We can start to go on. Stay there a little bit more if you like. You kind of rotate throughout here. Good time to check in with your breathing. See if you've been breathing or where you're at there. Just keep that breath flowing. Nice work, you guys. Here we go. A little bit more time here. Awesome. Alrighty, so from here, we're gonna get to some transitions. I'm gonna show you if that's tough, that transition move that I showed you to get to this side, that's pretty tough. We'll stay at this next one. Otherwise, we're just gonna check in here for a little bit and then move on. This is something that we can work on, and it's definitely not, it seems very simple, but it's still very effective if this is challenging for us. You're gonna just try to lift this front foot without the knee coming off the ground and without dipping here to the ground. So I wanna make sure, sometimes like I'll put a yoga block or a foam roller under my client's ear to make sure we don't cheat and start to dip down. Stay nice and long through the side of our spine, just trying to lift this foot, sort of feel some leg muscles active here. There we go. Good work, you guys. You're lifting up for a second or two and setting down. Try not to have this be a lift and hold, and then like let it flop down. Want to control this up, control down. If you're really struggling, you can put a block or a shoe or a book or something under your knee to lift it a little bit, and then try to hold that knee against, the block or whatever you're on there. Couple more lifts here. Good work, you guys. Lifting up. One more. Set down. Again, we're going to come to the other side. This is, you want to challenge your mobility. Again, arms up right here, slowly lifting that back leg off the ground, coming tall, straightening out, straighten out. Opposite leg anchors, staying tall, slowly hovering this over the ground, getting it to our back position here. Again, you're going to find your elbow, not dipping down here, keeping active, slowly lifting the foot off the ground and controlling back down. Again, trying to keep that knee to the ground here. Good work, you guys. Again, keeping that breath rolling. About halfway done this morning, maybe a little bit more. Good work. Again, starting to use mobility in our hips. This is what I replace stretching with for the most part. Is thinking about controlling through ranges of motion. It's like stretching, but with some muscle activity. There we go. And that is a lot more effective for how we learn and also making a long-term change. Research shows that just holding stretches doesn't really change your tissues. It feels good, it kind of relaxes our brain, but it doesn't make a long-term change here. Good work, you guys. Couple more here. Nice. Again, if this is a challenge or this isn't feasible for you, place a block under the knee. Lift the knee up a little bit. You might notice too differences side to side. That's all good. Something that you can, again, use this to bring more balance to your body. Okay, we're gonna move on to kind of like that flow that I was mentioning. Gonna be transitioning from side to side with this 90-90. Again, if that's too much, stay with these first ones that we work on. Work on that rotation, just do about 10 to 15 per side, and then switch sides. If we're trying to challenge ourselves a little bit more this morning, we'll get nice and upright. As you can see, tall, and you can make tension here or out here, your call. Trying to stay upright, try not to have to lean or come back throughout. Rather, keeping your chest and spine pretty aligned here. Got tension, that back leg is gonna lift off the ground, staying tall, straightening that leg out, straightening the other leg, coming down now. Gonna anchor here, stay tall, slowly bring that back leg back, setting down. Gonna come through 3 each direction here now. Straightening out, out, start to anchor down here. We're gonna press that leg into the ground a little bit, slowly hovering back, then slowly the leg, set down. Notice it's not a get the leg back and let it smash against the ground. The goal is to be fluid, under control through the whole range of motion here. Again, staying tall, back foot lifts off the ground. Around, straighten, straighten. Good work, you guys. Staying tall, slowly hovering back, setting down. Good work. Ooh, almost done with rep 2. There we go. Getting ahead of myself there a little bit. You might notice, these are kind of challenging. This is tough to control these hips. See, I work with a lot of people that are, or I don't work with a lot, but when I see people that are hypermobile or hyper flexible, like dancers or gymnasts, a lot of times they can flex their body or they're flexible. When it comes to controlling through ranges of motion like this, it's a different question. It's a lot more challenging to own your range of motion than it is to just pull your body into a position. You can really leverage gravity with bodyweight exercises to make it challenging. And slowly setting it down. Awesome. From here, you do a little different transition. So take a break. If you're doing those lift-offs, take a break here. Kind of let those hips relax. I realize they might be getting a little bit, not necessarily stiff, but maybe a little bit like, you can tell I've been working these. I've been in this position for a while. Get out of it if you need. Otherwise, we're going to be here for one more set of movement here. Similar to what we were just doing, but now we're going to roll, and we're not actually going to even lift the feet off the ground. The feet are staying on the ground here. Similar idea though. So we're going to start with our back knee lifting off the ground and almost pulling ourselves open here. Lean back as much as you need, but try to stay tall. You're going to roll over to the other side. Hands, chest, try to square up with your front leg here. Then you're going to pull back to the other side. So again, that knee is almost like pulling our body, leading ourselves through this transition. Come to the other side, trying to square chest up with our front leg. You're going to do 2 more each way. Again, that knee leads the way. Imagine the knee is pulling you. Pull that knee open to the ground, the other side. Torso comes. Good. You're going to pull that other leg out. Again, staying at the level that you need today. Again, this is a little more advanced. Totally okay if we're not here today. Those other exercises are great starting points. Go back to the center. You do 1 more each way. Pull, 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 pull. There we go. Actually, this is where we started. Good. Good work there, everybody. Good, some good 90-90 flow this morning. Hopefully opening those hips up a little bit. Again, grab a drink as you need. Gonna go to some core work now, kind of finish. A little circuit to finish there. All right, we're gonna be on our bellies. We're gonna start out with a different version of a plank, really trying to tell our core muscles to work. A lot of us can think about like doing a crunch or different things for our abs. Want to broaden our definition of the core though. I'm thinking about it's kind of from here down to here. You know, a lumbo-pelvic hip complex is what I call it, or LPHC. So we're gonna start to turn those muscles on with this next one. On our elbows, the knees stay on the ground with this next one. That's what makes us different than a normal plank. So knees stay on the ground, elbows just in front of the shoulders. So elbows further forward makes it a lot more challenging, closer to our body, a little bit easier. Start maybe under the shoulders or just in front, and then we can adjust as needed. Important that we come into this one under control and not just hop up into the plank. Again, keeping knees on the ground, we're gonna slowly pick the belly button up off the ground. Feel those core muscles kick in just by lifting our belly button off the ground. Hips should still be on the ground. Slowly, we're gonna drive that sternum towards your belly button, thinking about that motion as we lift the hips up. So hips come maybe 4 to 6 inches off the ground. We're just gonna hold here. Good time to check in with your breathing. Thinking about, can I keep these core muscles active and breathe at the same time? Not always easy. Super important that we can do this though. We gotta be able to do both those things, have core control and breathe if we wanna be healthy here. Okay, noticing your low back posture, not overarching or letting the belly button sag, but thinking about belly button up to your spine, or that sternum driving up to your spine here. One more breath, we'll control down. If that was easy for you and you want more challenge, move forward. If that was a little bit difficult, come in. You can do quicker sets. You can even just come into this for a second or two and then come down. Again, really important is how we come into this to tell that core to really lock in. Gonna come into our next rep here. Again, slowly picking that belly up off the ground. Then the hips come. Again, just lightly lifting the hips off the ground, not too far. Good breathing now. Thinking about expanding through the belly, through the low back, through the sides of the rib cage here, versus shrugging our shoulders as we breathe. Maybe take note of where your shoulder position is at. Can we pull the shoulders away from the ears a little bit in this posture? So we get our back a little bit more active or a little bit more wholesome posture here. Got about 10 more seconds here. Keep breathing. Again, belly button is up to your spine. Getting real active with our core here. One more breath. We'll control down here. Relax down. Alrighty. We're going to come into now more like a traditional plank or a high plank or push-up position. Same thing here. From here, gonna be up on our hands. Gonna start to feel that same core engagement now. So checking in with this posture, noting, is my low back really curved or am I able to flatten out here? It shouldn't be perfectly flat, but should just be a mild curve here. See if we can get that same engagement here. Just gonna lightly rock back and forth from side to side, feeling that weight distribution in your hands. Shifting side to side there, keeping the core active throughout. Again, shoulders away from the ears, whole body activity here. From here, we're gonna come down onto your elbows now. Keeping that core active, trying to control. If this is a little too much for us, come to your knees. Nothing wrong with being on our knees here with this. Holding this posture, again, shifting side to side with the elbows. Got about 15 more seconds here. Just lightly shifting side to side, trying to keep your core, your torso engaged the whole time through this. Take one more breath. Gonna control down to the ground here. Work, push ourselves back up. Gonna come in to a lunge position now with our knee on the ground. Gonna just do a couple pulses, kind of taking a little bit of time off. It's a higher intensity activity, just opening up the hip a little bit, stretching out, not arching our back through this, but think about hip and chest move forward together here. A couple more there, do as many as you feel you need. If you want to open that side up a little bit more, going on the other side as we're ready here. Again, pulsing, think about here in the hip, coming forward together. Really stretching through here. If you're not getting a stretch, think about a pelvic tilt here. Really locking that pelvis and that low back in so we're not just arching. As we're tight here, it can make us want to arch our low back or naturally pull us into that. Want to override that, keep neutral, really stretching out here. As you're ready, gonna stand up. You can go to the other side here. If you want to stay at that stretch, feel free. Otherwise, we're gonna do some standing lunges. If this balance is tough, widen out here. If you want to challenge your balance, let's come in here. Okay, we're gonna come, just a lunge, dropping this back knee to the ground, and coming up here. Just gonna stay stationary with this. Going 15 lunges here. And noticing where you press that front leg into the ground. As we lunge, again, not letting that low back arch too much, but keeping that same posture that we were working on through the stretch. Noticing where that front leg and that front foot press into the ground. If your heel's coming up or close to coming up, I don't like that. I want to get more balance, thinking about your foot as a tripod. Your heel and then 2 points of the ball of your foot. Really staying balanced, getting the power from the heel, but balance through the whole foot. A couple more here. Good work, you guys. Tell those leg muscles to get a little bit more active. Hopefully getting a little bit of burn with this one. There we go. You're gonna do one more rep coming here. If you were at a different tempo and you were counting 15, finish out your set. Otherwise, come on the other side here. Again, widen the feet if your balance is challenged here. Really tuning in to how we're pressing that front foot into the ground. Again, as we come down, not overarching our back or leaning the chest back, but thinking about under control through our core, through our hips. Kind of leaning into that front heel, getting that power in that front leg. If you're feeling the back leg working, probably pressing into that back foot too much. Really think about that front foot, leaning into it a little bit if we need, but not letting your spine round. Staying nice and upright throughout here. A couple more. I'm starting to say a couple. I have a big couple. It's not a two couple. So here we go. Two more actually here. And leaning in, driving through that heel to get the power. Awesome. Take a little breather here. Going to go into one more set of those two. So we got a plank, and then we got those lunges. Take a breather as needed. When you're ready, we're going to make our way onto the elbows for a normal plank. Not the 8-point plank, but a normal plank. Again, as we come into this, really seeing your core posture and tuning into that. If you need to, you can put a hand on your low back and check where we're at. Want to be pretty, just a slight curve there. Going to start to rock back and forth.
Side to side, elbow to elbow. Keeping shoulders away from the ears, keeping core active here. Hips not too high, not sagging as well. It's kind of finding that good middle ground. From here, we're gonna draw a circle with our elbows or with our torso relative to each other. So try not to let the hips come up too much or sag our low back. But imagine if there's a crayon coming straight off your chest, I'm drawing a big circle on the ground with it. There we go. We're going to switch directions now. Move forward, back. Noticing your ankles, your toes are kind of moving here. Not letting the torso change posture. Keeping that core active throughout here. We'll work, you guys, about 10 more seconds here. Take breaks as you need again. There we go. We'll get one more. Keep breathing. There we go. Good work, you guys. Last exercise here. Got some lunges coming. Going to be moving with these lunges now rather than stationary. So we're going to find our position, our standing lunge position. From here, we're going to lunge, press back. And trying to press into that heel, press into that toe, getting as deep as you like. Maybe that's our depth. Maybe we just have a little step and lean into it and push off and work on our balance. Again, this is not meant to be painful. The goal this morning is not to be pushing through pain, rather feeling our muscles working. And tuning into where we're pressing that front foot into the ground. This is easy. You want to get a little bit more into it. You can be explosive and work on coming back to a single leg balance. Let's come back, balance here. Ooh, just my balance a little bit this morning. Drive back, balance. Drive back, balance here. Couple more. Finding a level that works for you. Working on a single leg balance out of it if we can. Ooh. Got about 3 or 4 more here. Coming back. Again, if we're here, awesome. Totally okay. Maybe we just have a slight lunge. That's awesome. Good. Maybe find your core a little bit helping you. Last rep here. There we go. We're going to switch sides now. The other leg, stepping forward into it, driving back, finding the level that you'd like. Again, not overdoing it, not rushing through it. If lunges are newer for us or less familiar, take your time, step into it slowly, feel it out, and come back nice and easy. Super important that as you lean forward, we don't round the back. I'm exaggerating here, but even coming here can be detrimental to our spine. Really want to think about controlling, maybe tuning in consciously your core. Hopefully that area is a little bit more active anyways, but you can bring awareness there if needed. Again, if you want, coming back to a single leg balance. Explosive lunge, single leg balance here. Nice breathing, guys. Keep your breath rolling. I know I'm talking a lot about body control. So awesome if we can keep our breath rolling throughout. Good work. Got a couple more here, 3 more. And finding the version that works for you. Here we go. Whoa. Last rep here. Nice. Good work, you guys. Shake it out if you need. Grab a drink if you need. Just gonna spend a couple minutes now with some guided, like a mindfulness meditation. Super important that we work out our body and take care of our physical body. Our mental well-being is obviously equally as important, something we can't really dissociate from that. Meditation is so powerful for a lot of different things, for relaxing, but also for focus and for our ability to just navigate the world with a little bit more peace, with a little bit more equanimity or balance to whatever stresses come our way. So we're gonna line our back, nice and easy, kind of like a cool down here, but also thinking about tuning our mind a little bit today. So nice and easy, gonna go feet bent or knees bent so feet are flat on the floor. If you prefer, you can go straight legs. I recommend here. It's kind of lets the low back relax a little bit more. Nice and easy, you're gonna have a hand on our belly, a hand on your chest. Want to feel the hand on your belly starting to expand while the hand on your chest stays relatively quiet here. Noticing if this is challenging, if this is easy for you, wherever we're at, just trying to feel that hand on your abdomen, initiating your breath, initiating the inhale. And as you exhale, it'll lower a little bit. As we get comfortable with these mechanics, I'm going to try to count our inhale for about a 4 to a 6 count. Seeing where we're at, seeing, and don't want you to feel like you're gasping for air. I want to start to count our inhale, and then as we exhale, exhaling for 2 to 3 seconds longer than our inhale. As we settle into this lengthened exhale, we can start to relax our nervous system. The exhalation phase of breathing is strongly associated with our nervous system, the part of our nervous system specifically that promotes rest and digestion, or more of that relaxation response. So by bringing more awareness to our exhale and extending that, we can really start to downregulate our nervous system to more of a restful, composed state of being, hopefully a little bit more clear too. Start to notice your breath slowing a little bit, perhaps. This is another sign of starting to relax a little bit. Settling in here, I like to do that for a couple of rounds, maybe 2 or 3 rounds of 10 breaths. If that's a little bit much for you, or you're feeling like it's stressing you out because you're having to gasp for air, definitely just let your breath go a little bit more naturally. I like counting, but I also like to have people feel their breath naturally moving and just thinking about extending that exhale. If you'd like to keep counting, you may. Otherwise, just really thinking about each exhale is letting go, letting out all that air. It's a pretty calm, composed manner here. Gonna stay in this position, keeping our breath going. As we get into our breath a little bit more, you might notice your mind wandering. That's totally okay, and that's totally natural for the mind to wander. Important to know that that's not how we judge ourselves if we're doing a successful meditation or a breathwork session, but rather coming back to our focus as often as we need. And taking a moment just to appreciate the work you just put in, appreciating the time you carved out to make a healthy habit today, make some healthy choices, hitting a lot of different areas of our body, hopefully feeling a little bit more well in ourselves, a little bit more alive, ready to take on the day, whatever's coming next. Taking these last few moments to really settle in and let your breath flow naturally here. Taking note of how we're feeling, maybe having a little bit of mental clarity or a little bit more space between our thoughts and our presence. Remembering this is something we can tap into whenever we'd like. You know, if life specifically stresses us, this is a great breathing technique to come back to. Or just if we want to get in a little bit more sync with our breath, or a little bit more balance with our mind and our body. Great technique, a great mental space to come to here. On your next inhale, let's deepen the inhale, taking as much air as you can. Starting to feel the rib cage expanding as well. Breathing in until we feel the need to exhale, and then letting all that air go. Taking one more of those, a nice full inhale, and feeling that belly expand, but starting to open this now to the whole rib cage. Maybe your armpits expanding a little bit with the inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Exhale, feeling all that energy in your body sink in, relaxing into the ground a little bit more here. Taking one more breath together as so, and breathing in, seeing how big of a breath can we take, how much oxygen can we fill our lungs with on this inhale comfortably. Exhaling as soon as you feel that need to breathe more. Exhale, exhale, let all that tension go. Staying with the breath that you'd like here. I'm going to pass you on to yourself now. If you'd like to stay in this position and keep going, awesome. If you're ready to take on the day, awesome as well. Nice job. Again, so important that you see this as a positive just in trying, not based on how you did or if you stumbled or you struggled. So what I want is to bring some challenge and hopefully expose some things and give you insight onto a couple things you can work on to help yourself. Maybe think of one or two of the exercises we did today that were challenging and something that you feel is going to be beneficial for you moving forward. And grab onto that. Try that later today. Try that tomorrow morning. I do have a class that's coming on tomorrow morning. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be uploaded onto my channel. It won't be a live class. This is the only one that's going to be switched to just a regular upload. But it will be there tomorrow morning. Again, it's something we got going on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday mornings. Great job. Take care, everybody. Have a nice rest of your day.